Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new edition of the Good Night Podcast. This is your host, Amer. We are recording today while there's a game happening. We are recording at beautiful Cafe Evie. Today we have a very special guest. As you know, I always have guests with whom I've had interesting conversations with, and today is no exception. She came all the way from Washington, D.C. Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, make a lot of noise for the wonderful Rola Z, everybody. Rola Z, everybody. Hi, Rola. Kif Kon. Hi, everybody. For the Arabic-speaking audience members that we listen to this podcast.
Hi, everyone.
So, Rola, I wanted to... I'm going to give a small bio. So, Rola is a comedian, first of all. She's an Arab comedian. There's not many of them doing comedy. And in my opinion, having spoken to her a few times, she's the freest Arabic woman I have met in my life. She told me things. I don't know how much you want to talk about them on the podcast, but I've never met a woman like you.
Why, thank you. I will take that as a compliment.
Because, I mean, if you live in North America, people who live in North America, they take certain freedoms pour acquis. They're like, oh, yes, of course, a woman can do this, a woman can do that. Not from where we come from, and not from people from our time in the Middle East. So I'm interested by your process, how you got to this point in your life where you just don't give a fuck about anything or anybody. So
I love that. Thank you.
There we go.
Thank you. I love that introduction. Well, I grew up in Greece. And then, did you know that? I grew up in Greece. Am I looking in the right place? Or am I supposed to be looking at you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the cameras will capture everything, don't worry.
So I grew up, can I look there sometimes?
Yes, no? Of course. You can look at wherever you want.
Okay. I grew up in Greece, and so my mom is very traditional. My parents are actually, they're not very religious, but they are traditional.
Okay.
They were always my mom is all about being murattabi, in our culture. Proper. Everything is aib or
quiet
haram.
And proper. Yeah.
Everything in our culture is aib or haram.
Especially for women.
Especially for women, and especially when I was a kid.
Yeah. You have to obey your dad, and then you have to obey your older brothers, and then you have to obey your husband. It's always obey.
Well, it's obey, but it's not really about the brothers or whatever. It's more about the whole culture. It's always what will the neighbors think? What will the neighbors think?
With the image.
Yeah, it's all about what the neighbors think, and the neighbors are busy cheating on their wives and
iced coffee from Cafe Evie.
I'll just repeat. It's always about what the neighbors think, and the neighbors are busy cheating on their wives and spanking their children, and the neighbors don't care what you're doing, right? But everything else is what will the neighbors say, or haram is against God. So I'm forget about all of that. I really, as I got older, I'm in a privileged position because I'm 53, so I really don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But also, I think it's great to be able to be eclectic. To be able to choose from different cultures.
But how did you, at what age did you go, forget all this, I'm going to be my own person?
So it's very much a process. Okay. And I remember, I never used to, drink alcohol or whatever when I was younger, even though I lived in Greece. There was all this craziness happening all around me. Then I actually lived in Montreal for about 10 years. And in my 20s, I went back to Lebanon to find your roots and all of this. I don't know if I found my roots, but I definitely found Beirut 18, the nightclub. Do you know it?
No.
So I went to Lebanon to find my roots in my 20s, but actually I found a nightclub that opens up at sunrise. It's called BO18.
Wow.
You got to go. And the great thing about BO18 is that it's kind of an after-hours club. If you go there at 3 a.m., you're a loser. You got to go at 4 a.m.
Jesus, okay.
And it's starts pumping. I know, I'm exhausted now just thinking about it. It's a really cool club. So you go there, and it opens up at 4 a.m. And you go there, and then the roof opens up at sunrise, okay?
Wow.
And it's so amazing, because you're partying all night.
Then you see the missiles.
Yes, it opens up, and then you see the missiles, and then you hear the adhan, which I find so amazing. So we would go clubbing, and then we would come home, and we're it's the adhan, it's time to come home. So we're be driving home as the adhan was happening.
Wow.
And I'd say good morning to all my neighbors. Good morning. The guy's going to pray, and we had just come back from clubbing. So I think that's what I really love about Beirut, although this conversation didn't start there. But that's what I love about Beirut is
the nightlife?
In a way. Well, the nightlife.
The joie de vivre?
It's not just a joie de vivre, definitely. And I've really used that, especially now that I'm older. But I love that you can be eclectic. Like you can go to the mosque
Really?
if you want to, you can party if you want to, you can do whatever you want, and that's what I really love about it. And when I went back in my 20s, actually, this is maybe oversharing, but I'm just gonna do it. I found that there were only two virgins in Lebanon, me and Virgin Megastore. I wish I were joking, because I was such a good girl, and I went back in my 20s. I was like, these girls aren't virgins. They're like, yeah.
That blows my mind, by the way.
What?
The fact that, because in my mind, Lebanon, I grew up in Lebanon, you have to wait till marriage. The idea of having sex before marriage in Lebanon, where? That's my first thought when I started getting older and getting laid. I'm
Okay.
like, where are they?
So-
well, you can't. Everybody stays at their parents' place till they're 35 years old.
Where? The problem with where? This is
In
your
my
problem?
mind, it's where exactly.
Okay. So I don't know. I guess in cars or
cars?
On the beach.
On the beach, the
Without
sand.
The sand. I don't know. They're creative. You know how creative Lebanese people are.
I guess so. I guess they should.
Oh, now I know. Everyone has a chalet in Faraya. That's what the chalet
in
is
the
for.
chalet.
It's
This
not
is
actually for skiing.
This is where
guys.
children. This is where children have sex and couples cheat on their spouses.
I guess so. I mean, not children. God, I hope not children.
Well, but I mean, children is. I mean,
Young
the
people.
children of the parents.
Yeah, like teenagers, people in their 20s. So, okay, so here's the thing with people like us. Like, we were born in Lebanon. You were born in Lebanon,
Yes.
right? And we lived abroad. But the problem is our parents, they're kind of in a time capsule,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
So, like, they think that the culture has not moved for 40 years. And meanwhile, I'm like, I have friends in their 20s now who live with their boyfriends in Beirut.
Really?
Yeah, and it's just like things have moved on, and there's like a big queer community.
Really?
Yeah, you should go to Lebanon.
I went last time I went to Lebanon was
Yeah.
in 2006.
Okay.
And I had to be evacuated with
Oh,
the
yeah.
Canadian consulate.
Yeah.
So it kind of left a bitter taste in
Yeah,
my mouth.
I mean that was 20 years ago.
That was 20
it's
years
a long
ago,
time ago.
But for me, it seems like yesterday.
Yeah,
In my mind, I haven't grown up since.
yeah. So you're in a time capsule.
Of course, yeah. There's for sure.
Yeah.
But I remember it was very party central. Mm-hmm. I remember also seeing levels of poverty that was shocking to me. Seeing people with no arms and legs just pushing themselves on
I
the
thought you
street.
were going to say no Corvettes, but okay.
And I saw wealth and luxury and boasting that I've never seen here.
Okay, so
We're just
you're saying
immersed-
that people without legs, like,
In the sense, I saw the two extremes. I saw
but
levels
they're
of
not
poverty.
poor. They're
Who-
scammers. They're just the ones that pretend to be beggars.
Yeah, but there's
That's
still
just their
there's still a
job.
high level of poverty.
Yeah, there is a high level of poverty. Yeah, I mean,
Sorry.
now everybody's poor because the government stole
Yeah.
everyone's
That's-
money.
The government stole everyone's money, but there's still a lot of bravado. That's
Yeah, I mean,
in the Middle East. I've always had issues with that.
which
about,
part?
About the fact that Arabs, Lebanese people, I'll speak on that, lack self-hate.
No, there's a
I-
lot of self-hate.
I think there should be more self-criticism in the Arabic community that we don't have enough. It's very like, look at me, tala alayya, look how much money I have, look at my car, look at my wife.
Wait. What car do you drive?
I'm Mazda 3.
Okay, this is why.
Just a
Habibi,
regular
if you
Mazda
drove
3.
a Corvette,
Yes.
how would you feel?
I would feel great.
See?
But I would like to earn it. There's so many stories I've heard of people who have Corvettes and Mercedes and BMWs, and then you go to their house and there's no food in the fridge,
Yeah.
or they sold all their sofas
Yeah.
and TVs
Yeah.
just so they can show off.
Yeah.
I've always had issues with that.
Yeah. I
With
mean,
our people.
No, absolutely. I mean, this is very, very much what I was talking about earlier, that like you live by what people think of you.
Yeah.
It's more important than whether you actually
Yeah.
eat at home or not.
Yeah,
you
I
know?
think that's a problem.
Yeah.
We should learn this from the Jews and have
what?
some self-hate. Jews are very big on self-hate.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, and self-criticism. I
Yeah.
find that's
like the self-deprecating
self-
humor.
exactly.
Okay,
We don't
so
have that enough.
There's no word for self-deprecation in Arabic.
Seriously? Oh, that
When I
makes so much sense.
Yeah, when I first got into comedy, I was like, I also, I speak Arabic. I
Yeah.
try to perform in Arabic sometimes, which
Yeah.
is so wonderful because it's also a different part of the brain.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to do this self-deprecating stuff, and like, there's no word for it. There's
That's-
sukhriya, satire, but there's no like
Oh,
self-deprecating
that
humor.
makes so much sense.
Yeah.
That makes so much sense. I find if this movement came into the Arabic world, it would change us completely.
Yeah.
I truly think so. I want to go back again to how did you rebel? The moment of rebellious. Because you have children.
Yes.
I'm assuming you were married. Did the rebellion come with comedy?
What does he think I am? Of course I'm married, Habibi. I got married before children. This is how we do it in the Middle East.
I don't know. You're very free. So my question is, did the freedom, like, did you like this? When did Rola become Rola?
I love that you think I'm so free. Like, I
really
drink.
think so.
I've never done any kind of drugs. I haven't even tried cannabis, and now it's legal. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. You're free enough. Listen, a Lebanese who doesn't smoke weed, that's rebellious.
I know. So it's really cool because I grew up in Greece, like I said. My parents are not religious, but very traditional. You know, like everything is proper. You have to say the right thing. Like you can't sit like, I can't sit like this, can't sit like that, whatever. So it's very interesting. Really lovely challenge growing up in Greece because there's all sorts of things happening around us, right? There's like, you know, people smoking, drinking, playing spin the bottle, all these things. And I was like, no, you know. So I think I got very good at choosing what to participate in, what not to. And I also, I don't do peer pressure. And I even, you know, I lived in Dubai for a long time. I never had a Louis Vuitton handbag. You know, I should have bought one now because in the end I put my money in Lebanon. They stole all my money. So I wish I'd bought like 200,000, you know, Louis Vuitton handbags. But in the end, I personally don't do peer pressure. I don't do this person, whatever it is. This person next to me is smoking, doing whatever, and I don't do it. If this person is whatever, praying 5 times a day, I'm not going to do it. Like whatever it is, even if it's like material things, I don't do peer pressure. And I think I learned that at a young age.
From whom?
Not to do peer pressure.
Who was your... Like everybody tried to emulate, when they're children, they tried to emulate someone they consider cooler. Was it an aunt, a mother, a dad?
You know, it's really interesting because it's, as you know, or maybe, I don't know if you know this, but like as a person who's like a third culture kid or like as somebody who lives in a different culture, you're like in a different culture from the people around you, and you're a different culture from like the home country. Yeah. You're also a different culture from your parents. So you kind of create your own culture. It was like you're the third culture kid. It's like I'm going to do my own culture, and I just decided what's good and what's bad. I think I don't know if I should say this, but I will. We lived in Kuwait for some time.
You lived everywhere, by the way.
I lived everywhere because I'm 100 years old and I have really good skin. But I lived in Kuwait for some time, and when I was a teenager, I watched these British girls get completely drunk, or as they say, shit-faced. No, but what I'm saying, I'm sure there was some kind of like harassment of these girls, but this is like 35 years ago. It was like before the Me Too movement. It was before any of that stuff. You know, it's like, did we have Me Too movement when we were young? Yeah, we called it existing. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like in the 90s, you go to work, you get sexually harassed. Like, nice dress. Yeah, you know, you've watched Mad Men, right? Yeah, it's like, you know.
Good times.
Now it's like, this is the harassment. So basically, I guess what I'm saying,
so you saw them get drunk, those girls.
So I think I'm very negatively inspired. I've realized this lately, where I see someone and say, I do not want to be like this person. Like you, for example. No, I'm joking. I love you. You're lovely. No, but I'm just saying, I think I'm very good at being inspired negatively. Like, I don't know what that's called. Dispired? Is that a term for it? So I'll see someone, I'll be like, oh, this person. So I would see this girl, and I remember her name, and I won't mention her name, but like, she's like this beautiful, blonde, pretty girl, whatever. And she was 16, and she would get drunk, and she would like get dragged upstairs to the bedroom, and she'd come home, she'd come to school the next day. She had like bruises on her legs, and I was like, what is happening with you, girl? She's like, oh, you know, I got really drunk, so I got dragged to the bedroom. And like, I was too young to honestly even want to know. I was too innocent, not too young, too innocent to even want to know what happened next. I was like, oh, well, that's really bad. She's like, yeah, but you know, I was drunk. So that was before like we had these kind of situations.
Even women back then didn't know that it was
like bad.
It was bad
if you were forced to go upstairs. But I mean, clearly the girl would go back to these parties. You know,
she would go back. As if it was wow.
I mean, this is just like,
man, culture changed a lot.
Well, culture changed a lot, and also this is in Kuwait, and this person is British. You know, so there are like many layers to that. You know, but my point is, I never wanted to be in a position where I would lose control and someone would, God forbid, take advantage of me. So I would like to thank Angela today.
Shout out Angela. I hope.
Hey Angela.
I hope everything's going well right now. I hope
you're blonde and pretty in your 50s, and I hope you still look as hot as you used to. But yeah, so.
I think there's I forgot his name. I think in meditation I read it was like, a normal person learns from his mistakes, but a wise person learns from the mistakes of others.
Oh, wow. So I'm wise.
You had wisdom when you were 15.
God bless. Rola. Thank you.
How come you traveled in so many different countries?
So we lived we fled the war by boat because of Israel. 45 years ago.
Yeah.
So we fled the war when Israel was invading Lebanon.
Yeah.
The airport closed, a disaster, yada, yada, yada. But when I do my one-woman show, I actually found a way to make that funny. So I want to talk about that later.
Yeah.
And then my dad had a job in Greece, so we lived there for some time.
Okay.
And then my dad had a job in Kuwait, so we moved there. And then
Baba's job that took all the family.
Yeah, and then we moved to Canada because we didn't want to be treated like second-class citizens because having a Lebanese passport is disastrous. I mean, when we had Lebanese passports, even Jordan treated us badly. It's Jordan.
There's a lot of racism amongst the Arabs.
Yeah, but to be treated badly by Jordan. I just want to say that.
Those fake Palestinians.
How many Jordanian customers had Jordan audience?
I don't
Hi, I love you. Dawar al-awwal, Dawar al-thani, if you're from Jordan. I'm crazy.
It's okay. You're a free artist. When did you start comedy? When did you okay, I want to express my voice. I want to express my opinions. I lived all this life. You seem to have lived different lives. When did you go I want to go on stage and share on?
So 5 years ago.
5 years ago.
I got into it 5 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, quite recently. I got into it 5 years ago. Basically, I went to a comedy show with a friend of mine. My marriage was falling apart. So
you got divorced not too long ago, Yana?
Yeah. Yeah. So my marriage was falling apart, and I lost all my money, and everything was kind of a disaster. And there was nothing to do but to go into comedy because nobody goes into comedy because they're happy.
You think so?
Are you happy?
I consider my.
What?
I get highs and lows. Sometimes I'm happy. Sometimes
You're a happy comedian?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm a mix. But I think here's the thing. I'm a human, so there's days where I'm happy. There's days where I'm sad.
That's really nice. Yeah. No, I
never aim to be happy. I don't think anybody can be happy all the time.
Yeah. No, I think it's great to be happy. I just have this thing because the kind of comedy I do.
Yeah.
I'm really attracted to people, to comedians who go into comedy that comes from pain. So I started my own brand of comedy called Traumedy, as in trauma comedy.
Yeah.
So the question was, when did you?
Yeah.
So I got into comedy 5 years ago when my life fell apart, and actually, I went with a friend of mine to a bar to watch comedy. And I didn't like the comedy at all. And other people were laughing, but I wasn't. So I left. I didn't heckle. I'm not rich. I left. So I went to the bar, and I was like, they're just doing, dirty jokes, and they're talking about weed, and it's just boring. And men are talking about their body parts. I'm like, dude, I don't even want to picture you with clothes on. Now you. Because, male comedians, they're not the hottest bunch. What's the name of that guy who's shirtless? No, you're good looking, Habibi.
I'm fine. Thank you.
Alhamdulillah, mashallah. No, but what's the name of that guy who's shirtless?
Bert Kreischer.
Oh, he makes me never want to see a shirtless man again.
Really? It's funny.
But it's funny to you.
Men's bodies, when they look disgusting, can be funny. I find.
But that's the point.
Yeah.
Go on. Mm-hmm.
In the sense that his job is to be funny. So he's funny looking. Whether you like his jokes or not, I find being out of shape, for some reason, I don't know why, it's funny. A six-pack, the lines that you love.
How do you know I love the lines?
We spoke about because I have jokes about the line, and you came to talk to me about the V line, and you're like, I love it.
I have rolls, okay, but I like men with abs because I don't want to work out. Yeah. I'd rather be with a guy with abs than get my own abs. What?
A six-pack is not funny.
I'm the funny one. The man doesn't have to be funny.
I'm talking about comedian on stage.
Okay, but why is he Habibi? Why is he shirtless?
Because it's even stupider.
Oh, okay.
Stupid is a type of funny.
Okay, so that's the thing about comedy. That comedy is so subjective, right?
Yes.
Which brings me back to I went to this comedy show. I paid $20. It's not a mic.
Yeah.
And I left because it was not my kind of humor.
Yeah.
But I wasn't going to heckle or insult. I was like, well, you know what? I'm just going to go. So I went to the bar. My friend was with me. And I was like, oh, God, these guys, it's so gross. I don't know what. I don't know why people are laughing. I don't know what. And then this comedian, I didn't know he's a comedian. He's like, yeah, well, you don't like it. Why don't you do better? You know how hard it is to go on stage? I said, yeah, I guess it must be hard. Maybe I should do it. And then he said...
Someone dared you. That's basically how you got into comedy.
Someone who was annoying.
Yeah.
No, he said to me, he's like, be the change you want to see.
Yeah.
I said, sure. And then a year later, I took my show to the Kennedy Center. I kind of created a show and took it to the Kennedy Center a year and a half later. That's when I created the Funny Arabs show, which was very special and always sold out. And I took it there. I'm like, okay, dude, inspire me. I don't care. Hit me with it.
It's funny you say that because I've heard your material. You can be very dirty.
Yeah.
You say a lot.
Really clean. Yeah. Tell me what you mean. Yeah.
You talk about sex.
Yeah.
You talk about politics.
Yeah.
All the subjects that you talk, and I've seen a few. Some of them are
Yeah.
Very dirty.
What do you mean?
Like it's you were saying like, oh, they talk about their body parts.
Yeah.
They talk
So-
about and then you talk about sex too.
Yes. This is a very good question.
Yeah.
So the way I talk about it, again, everything's subjective,
Yeah.
but I don't want to hear a guy talking about it. I just don't want to hear men talk. No. So the way I talk about it, it's only in the context of politics. So I have this joke. So I always say I talk about boobs so I can talk about bombs. You know, so I actually only talk about it, like whatever you've seen, I only talk about it in the context of politics. Like I say, I was dating a veteran and we do a bit of role play and I'm on top and I pretend to be an American tank. Is that a sex joke? No, it's a political joke. Yeah.
So you're using the sex not as a punchline, but like to metaphor.
Yeah.
You're using sex as a metaphor to talk about politics. Okay, I'll give you that. Okay.
Sex is the honey that gets you in so I can talk about politics. Because honestly, Amer, if it were up to me, I would talk about politics the whole time. I would be like Jon Stewart or John Oliver, or any John really, you know. That's what I would be. But
Yeah.
if you're on stage, you can't just talk about that. It's heavy. It's exhausting.
It is.
It's heavy. You know, I like to do dark comedy. I created my own, you know,
You
like
do
I
like
said,
to do dark comedy too?
Traumedy and
Yeah.
all of that because I like comedy that comes from pain, you know, like I don't, go
I
ahead.
think all comedy comes from either pain or, well, pain is a type of comedy. You feel something and you talk about it on stage and people relate to your pain because they feel that pain as well. It also comes from stupidity, where you say something so stupid
Yeah.
that people laugh.
Sure.
Also, it comes from some
Yeah.
very smart comedians
Yeah.
who it's like a lawyer defending
Yeah.
an idea and he
Yeah.
breaks it down in a
Right.
funny way.
Yeah.
So there is many different types of comedy. Also, some comedy is just vulgar for the sake of being vulgar. I personally, I enjoy all of them a little bit more. I have my
Interesting.
own style. You know, I don't know what it is, to be quite frank with you. I think it's a lot of self-deprecating humor. But there's a different. You just have to find. I find stupid comedy also to be extremely
Like what?
as stupid as it gets.
Like
Just
Beavis and Butthead?
Beavis and Butthead can make
Okay.
me laugh.
Okay.
I like it when smart people do dumb jokes.
I totally understand what you mean. Yeah.
Because you know he's doing just a dumb.
Yeah.
Like Louis. I don't know if you watched Louis
Of
C.K.'s
course.
last album,
Which
special.
one? Like a couple of weeks ago? Or
Yeah,
like months
yeah,
ago?
yeah. He
I
opens
can't
with.
say that because the women will hate me. But
Are
I'm
you a fan of
still-
Louis C.K.?
I love Louis C.K. It's
Say
so
it.
bad.
Say it. Preach, sister.
Okay, Louis C.K. probably sucks as a human being. Okay, he sucks as a human
don't
being.
know.
I don't know. I've never met him personally, right? But his comedy is brilliant. It still is. He's
Yeah.
also a man in his 50s.
Yeah.
He's a person in his 50s. I'm in my 50s. So I'm going to listen to what he has to say. He's so dark and so ridiculous.
Yeah.
And he really talks about aging so brilliantly.
Yeah.
Like he has this joke where he says, I just bought a coat today. I think it's the coat,
This is
last
the
coat
last joke I'm
I'll
gonna buy."
ever buy. And I was so depressed that day. But then when he said that, it made me so happy. I'm
Yeah.
like, what a relief. Maybe I can also buy a coat. That can be the last coat, you know, because he was only like 5-6 years older than me. And it kind of made me happy.
Yeah. Well, that's his job. As a comedian, your job is to. I don't know. What do you think is the job of a comedian? Actually, that's a good question.
For me personally?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm also, I know it's cheesy, but I'm going to say, it's like, I'm a community builder as well. I will say my shows are not a one-night stand. I want you to come back for more. You don't come, you laugh, you leave. That's not what I want. I want you to come back for more. I want you to feel loved when you're there, and I want you to keep coming back. It's really about the community. And if you've been to my shows, if you have, you've been
Yeah.
on one of my shows,
Yeah.
you know it's going to be sold out. You're going to feel great.
Insane.
Insane. The audience is going to love it. They're going to want to see you again, all of that. Also, like a lot of people meet at my shows. You know, like two couples got married.
Oh.
You know, one couple got a divorce, you know.
So
after
you're
my
building
show.
a cult, Rola, is what you're saying?
Rola cult.
The
Yes.
Rola cult?
The Rola
I think
cult.
that's the name of the podcast.
Yeah, I mean, there's some, yeah.
Rola's cult.
Rola's cult. Yeah, I mean, so I say, so as a producer, I think my job is to bring healing to the community. And I know that sounds very cheesy.
It is.
And to make good. I'm cheesy. I'm from the 70s, you know. And to make people feel loved. As a comedian, for me, I don't know what everyone else's job,
Yeah.
but for me as a comedian, I really wanna make you laugh, but I also want you to think. I want you to go home and be like, oh, where's Lebanon? I'm gonna Google that. So if you don't Google something I've
Yeah.
said, That makes me unhappy. No. But like the best best compliments I get is when someone says like, "Oh, that was so smart. I didn't even know this," and I went home. So if I can make you laugh and make you message me later and be like, "Oh, I had no idea. This is so cool what you said," then that's the kind of comedian I want to be. I want to be the kind of comedian where people are like, not like, inspired also by like, I'm 53 and I don't give a fuck. And I talk about being 53 all the time. And I talk about menopause. Like I do. And I get like younger women coming up to me. They're like, "We love what you do. You should meet my mom." I was like, "How old's your mom?" 48. It's like, but I do want to be like, inspiring for younger people to just be whoever they want to be on stage. That's really important to me as a comedian, but also to learn something new. Like, it's like, I don't know, sometimes I'll do a joke that kills, but it'll be so stupid and it'll piss me off. I'm like, this is the dumbest joke I've ever not even written. I didn't even write this. I thought of this on my way and I said it, and it's so stupid and everybody find it hysterical. I was like, I am talking about the war in Iraq and you're not laughing, and now I'm, but generally the kind of people who would watch me are the kind of people who want to laugh about, like there's this thing, I think you guys have it here, the noir, what's it called, noir, the dinner in the dark? I don't know if you still have it.
Yeah, dîner. I know.
Dîner.
Au noir.
Au noir, right.
Where you eat in complete darkness.
Right, but that's like here. I think is for like to help the blind or something different.
No, it's a restaurant, but there's blind people who work. I think the wait staff.
So is it blind. Is it to help the blind or to help a man get laid? Which one is it?
I think they go hand in hand in this case. I don't know if it. Would it help?
No, but I thought when it started. I mean, you were. I mean, a long time ago. I think when it started, it was supposed to be like. To employ the people.
I don't know if there's a humanitarian aspect to it, but I think if I were to open a restaurant where you can't see anything, I would hire blind people because they would be better at echolocation. I don't know, but they would be able to. They're more comfortable not seeing anything,
Oh, lovely, So I don't know if it was when it was open, it was a man-sharing thing, but in the U.S. it's definitely not humanitarian because it's U.S., the capital of capitalism. Yeah. But basically there's a thing called dinner in the dark where you go there and it's like it's in the dark. I mean, it's like obviously triggering for someone like me. I can't even watch the fireworks, So I have this joke where I was like, dinner in the dark, that's just like my childhood during the war, very like people burst out laughing because it's dark comedy because I'm laughing about it. But then they also go and check about the war. So if you didn't know about Lebanon before a war, you're like, okay, I'm with this girl. So I'd rather make a joke about that than make some dumb joke where, like, I have this other dumb joke, like, it's so stupid. I said, I went out with this guy. He's like, D.C. Stallion, And then I know you should never go out with a guy called D.C. Stallion, but I'm 53. Give me a break. I still got one or two more husbands in me, So I'll go to this place, and this guy shows up, and he's 5'4". That's not D.C. Stallion. That's My Little Pony. Yeah. And it's so stupid because you're making fun of someone's height. Hilarious.
So,
no, but I don't like making someone's height either. I'm like, no, but my point is sometimes but I have to do the dumb stuff because I can't just talk about politics the whole time. It's heavy. I've been told it's heavy, especially in D.C. A lot of people work in politics,
Yeah.
But
I think, if I may, Rola, as a man who's been doing comedy a bit more than you,
yes,
I think you should just accept it.
Accept what?
Like, you thought about a stupid joke. It's still your joke. You elicited laughter.
Oh no.
You elicited laughter, right? You elicited laughter where there was no laughter before.
Yeah. No, I love it. It's so funny because sometimes, exactly, but it's so funny because the dumb jokes that I know are going to get the mainstream laughers. Yeah. Like, there's some jokes that, everyone in the room finds hysterical. Yeah. But those to me are, the dumbest jokes, I want when I first got into comedy, a few years ago, and I know I'm still very new. I've only been doing this for 5 years. But I remember my stuff was so dark that you get someone in the back cackling, screaming. This woman's hysterical. They come, they hug me after, and then people ignoring me. So now I'm trying to do stuff where of course you want the person who's they call it a super fan. Yeah. But you also want to get you want your material to be more relatable, more mainstream. Yeah. But I really
My Little Pony.
Like My Little Pony. So I end up doing the dumb stuff so I can do the smart stuff. Yeah. That's the opener. But really, I'm going to talk about this.
Well, you told me you're just your 1 hour, your one woman show. Yeah. Congratulations, first of all. That's amazing.
Thank you.
It's a big step to go on stage and talk for an hour. How did you build your hour? Is it politics? Is it your life? Is it?
So it's not an hour. I don't know if I said it. I'm sorry if I said it.
Well, it's your one-woman show.
It's 40 minutes, yeah. So it's 40.
That's an hour.
Oh, okay.
A one-woman show.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's really it was really wonderful doing it because it was with the Atlas Performing Arts Center, which is a theater. You know, I mean, they have many theaters there, but it's an arts center. It's not a comedy club, which is very different. It's different because it's a theater, which means that you can do whatever you want on stage. I mean, they do dance. They didn't have comedy in that program before, so it was really wonderful because I got to do comedy, which is what I do. So all I had to do was like, you know, you do your best bits, right? You've been working on it for a few years. You do your best bits. I was like, but I've also been doing storytelling. So I did a lot of storytelling. It was basically my life story. And it was called Make America Home, which is so cheesy, but people love cheese, you know. My initial name was actually Succumbing to America.
Succumbing
to America, but I don't think people, like, not everybody knows what that means, and it sounds kind of pompous. So I thought Make America Home was more mainstream. It was like, okay, how does this immigrant woman make America home? And what was really wonderful about it, because I thought, okay, do I just get my best 30 minutes or whatever? This is what comedians do. And I said, but no, there's an opportunity to do more. So I said, okay, I'm also going to talk about body positivity. And I don't mean it in an American, oh my God, we're fat, but it's okay kind of way. Like, not like that, but more like loving your body because your body carried you here. Like, you came here, you walked here, you carried all this stuff. It's more about being grateful for your body for carrying you. And I said, you know, I said, like, your body is your only constant witness, you know, other than your phone. You know, your phone is like spying on you right now. But that's what I mean. I wanted to say something like deep and intelligent. Not so, you know, I'm pompous, whatever. But that's not so people can be like, ooh, that's deep and interesting. It's just like, I'm a person who's lived in many different places. And I feel at home nowhere and everywhere. So right now, right here with you, I'm at home. Like, if my kids were here right now, like, life is perfect. I never have to leave the spot. You know, which I think is actually really beautiful because so many people are lonely and they're like, oh, I don't feel like home. It's like, you know, you are home. You know, so that was kind of my message at the end, or my discovery rather, that I am actually home. So to answer your question, it was like mainly comedy, but I was also like really challenged to do a bit of storytelling that was also ended up being very funny. Like, I talked about fleeing the war and made that funny, and that was such a big challenge. So it's like pushing yourself to do important, you know, interesting stories about your life, to let it all out as some sort of therapy and make it funny, you know, or at least engaging. So it was such a privilege.
Have you considered doing Edinburgh? I think what you're telling me about fits perfectly.
I looked at it yesterday. Have you done it?
No.
It's too much work.
Yeah,
I can't do it. It's like every night, 30 days.
Yeah, but
I perform once a week and then I have to sleep. I'm old. I don't know. I think it's a young man's sport.
Yeah, I think you would enjoy it. If you have a chance, try to do it, because I think Europe is a big continent, and I think you would enjoy performing in front of fresh ears. And also that Arabic diaspora is everywhere. So a lot of people will relate.
I love that, and I think you're the third person who's asked me or said I should, which means I should do it. So I will do it.
Are you doing it in Montreal?
What? There's one. Not yet, but I'm working on it. I mean, they gave me an opportunity to do it, and now I have to. This was also like the first time I was doing. So there were stories. You know, you're not supposed to do untested material, right? But like, I don't.
Oh yeah.
So
when you start doing your hour, I find, because I started maybe 3 years ago to headline, I find that I have so much. I can do whatever I want, especially if it's like my own show. If I'm producing the show, I'm my own boss. Nobody hired me. I'm selling tickets. I'm doing the door. I'm selling the merch, and I'm performing. When I'm on stage, I give myself freedoms that I never thought I have, and I truly do better when everything is on my shoulders. I go on stage, I have zero stress because all the work has been done. I've sold the tickets. I packed the room. People are here to laugh. I truly have zero stress when I go on stage. When it's my own producer. When I'm working, like, let's say a club hires me, then I'm like, I should, be careful because it's a club.
That's so interesting.
So, but 100%. You can skip rope if you want.
Well, exactly, especially in that space because it's a theater. I had a belly dancer.
Oh, that's great.
Because I talked about the body and body talk. I was like, love your body, touch your, and then belly dance for everybody. It doesn't matter what you look like, what if you're, tall, slim, short, fat. It doesn't matter.
I don't know. A thin belly dancer, I don't want that personally. Let's body shame a little.
Less thin people. Yeah, we hate thin people.
No, but belly dancing, you need a belly. No offense
to
all these.
But I've seen skinny belly dancers who are good. Yeah,
I know, but belly requires the curves and the movement.
Can I stand up? I know. Yeah, I can shake later.
Can we agree? Belly dancing requires meat,
Let's
Is
agree.
this body shaming?
Let's just agree that curvy women are hotter than skinny women.
Preach. Preach, sister, preach.
You know,
100%. I'm against skinny belly dancers. Sorry.
I'm against skinny women being the only form of beauty.
Oh. Is it? I find it's a bit dying. Like
no,
that
it's dead. I
notion
mean, in
of-
America, I'm skinny, especially in D.C. You know, it's a bit.
Like curves are making a comeback, and
Yeah,
it's a
they
huge
are.
comeback. And love her or hate her, Kim Kardashian brought back the curves.
Yeah, but she's still slim. Oh my God!
She
now,
is?
well, I mean, she's got you've got the curves, but you also have you need to have it like a tiny waist, whatever. Okay, this is
that's
too much
plastic
body
surgery.
talk. Yeah, obviously, yeah, sure.
But
Nobody
she
actually,
brought back the
back
big
curves.
boobs, the big butts.
Yeah.
You know, you go back 10 years before, you had Kate
Oh.
Moss, and just everybody was this
Kate
thin
Moss.
stick.
Kate Moss.
Beautiful face.
Oh, who cares? When I was young,
Yeah.
Habibi,
Yeah.
we all had to look like Kate Moss. Look at me.
Yeah.
If I was reborn, would I look like Kate Moss? Like,
I never, yeah.
no, but it's not just the
But you
looks,
had
like the
we
face.
had Monica Bellucci. Monica Bellucci had curves.
Yeah, she did. But she also had dark hair. But I'm saying Kate Moss is also like, I could never look like, even how I was skinny. Like, look at my nose. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I think it's terrible when you have one definition of beauty, because what are the rest of us supposed to do? And I mean that
It's
about
tough to be a woman.
everything. Yeah, not really, because over 50, you just don't give a fuck. You're like, you don't think I'm pretty good? Ignore me, Habibi. You know, whatever. You know, like, you don't care. You just, it's really empowering.
Yeah, you should speak to more young female comedians, because I feel they're still. As a man, I'm blessed the fact that I can look like a schlub, and I can go on stage and nobody will care. As long as I'm funny, nobody will care. I find that when I speak with certain female comedians, I see them like, oh, they're getting ready and they're fixing, like they want to look good on stage. I'm like, oh, I am blessed. I don't have to do any of that.
Are you saying I don't look on stage? I wear pretty dresses.
I'm not talking about
makeup.
you. You look
Yeah.
great. But in the sense that I don't think about that.
Oh, you
at
don't think
all.
about your looks at all on
At
stage? Just
all.
your, yeah.
At all. But I find for a woman, it's something that they have to take into account.
Like, they also have to be pretty?
Yeah. For them. They
They have to
don't look
think
like
they
schlubs
look
like
good.
me.
Well, that's interesting. I don't know. I think about that a lot. And I
Yeah.
think, like, there's also this thing, like, pretty women aren't funny. You know, there's also that kind of thing. And I think
Pretty
that-
people are not funny.
Yeah,
it's
but
not
I mean,
really a woman thing.
yeah,
Not-
but Matt Rife, whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
they're good-looking comedians who are also funny. But I think as a comedian, like, you need to really become, I don't know what the word, I think as a comedian, your looks, if your comedy is really good, your looks have to be irrelevant. Whether you're good-looking, like
yeah.
good-looking or not good-looking, you know. Like, one of my favorite comedians is Jessica Kirson.
Yeah, she's hilarious.
She's hilarious, but also her face, like,
Yeah.
she's not trying to be funny. Her face, she's
Yeah.
trying to look insane.
Yeah.
Like, looks like her
She's
face.
one of the best.
Yeah, she's amazing. And like, as I get older, I think
Yeah.
I want to, like, now I'm still, like, you know, kind of hot in some circles. So
Yeah.
like, I know
That's
what a
another
weird
name
thing
for
to
the
say.
podcast. Hot in some circles.
Hot in the dark. Hot after 70 drinks. You know, whatever. I don't give a fuck. Like, I have confidence. It doesn't matter what people think. But my point is, like, in some cases, I'm considered hot, whatever. But I can't wait till I get older and have that not be a thing. Because
Yeah.
then it's like, it doesn't matter whether I'm hot or not. I'm here to be as funny as Jessica Kirson with
Yeah.
my ridiculous facial expressions, and no one's thinking like this person's hot or not. They don't give a fuck. You know, I can't
Imagine
wait
if
for
Jessica
that.
got Botox. Like, it would ruin her whole. Her face is so expressive.
I know, it's crazy. It's amazing.
And
That's what
it
I
just-
want. It's crazy,
yeah,
and I think like
yeah.
I can be that person.
I want to be like her. Like,
both be that
truly.
person. But the amazing thing is when I make fun of people who are Gen Z,
Yeah.
like one Gen Z girl, I shouldn't mention her name because she's so, okay, let me tell you. She did. I love her. I love you. You're probably not going to watch this. Can I just tell you? what she
Yeah,
did?
of course.
I met this woman. She's in her 20s, and women in their 20s, they just jump all over me. They think I'm so cool because like I'm their
You're
mom's
free.
age. Sorry?
You're free.
Yeah, I'm their mom's age, but so I'm so much cooler than my
Yeah.
mom, right? So they jump on me, they're hugging me, we're dancing, I'm belly dancing, like, oh, you're so cool, whatever. So then I said, hey, listen, I should invite you to my show, whatever. She's like, yeah, but I'm going to be offlining. I'm like, شو هيدا? شو هيدا? What is this offlining? Yeah, I
Yeah.
go into Arab dad mode. No, I have two modes, Arab dad and bougie diva. There's nothing else. So she's like, I'm doing offlining. I said, what is this? So I'm such an idiot. I thought it was ziplining. She said, no, I'm going to be offline for 25 days.
Wow.
I said, wow, I have been offline for 25 years. Like, so that's the kind of Arab dad joke I get into. But my point is, it was so obnoxious. And she's like, oh my God, that's the kind of thing Jessica Kirson would say. So that's what I'm saying. Like,
that's nice.
It's a big compliment, but she found me like very funny, and she came to my show and brought her young friends. They all found me hysterical. Look at her, she's better than my mom. You know, I don't care. The bar is low. They're just like, she's funnier than my mom. I'm happy. You know, but I just think like, you didn't ask me this question, but I think for me, like, it's important to look at comedians I want to emulate, to be like, you know, and like, and because we change. So you talked about looks, so it's relevant. So I'm saying your looks will change, right, as you get older, you know, and I've enjoyed even like watching, like I'd meet a comedian, he's 22, you know, and then he's 30 and is completely different person, and he's got gray and he's a dad and I don't know what. So I really love that your comedy evolves as you get older, and I can't wait for it to I can't wait for me to be able to like do the political stuff, do the dorky stuff without like ever even like, I don't want to dress like high heels and like, oh, I'm the curvy kid.
I mean,
like,
unless
it's annoying.
you want to.
Yeah, but after a certain age, I can't do it anymore. Because when I'm no longer hot in any circles, even after 70 drinks in the dark, I'm going to have to do it.
No, I don't think so. I think you would still enjoy it. You seem to enjoy the whole feminine thing.
I love it.
Like
I love it.
So I think you're going to be 70 and still...
Oh, you're so nice. Thank you. What's the name of that woman that we all love? She died at almost 100. I can't remember. I have menopause.
I know exactly who you're talking about. I forgot her name.
I'm such a dork. Why can't I
remember? She was like
her?
She used to do interviews on red carpets, and her husband killed himself, I think. Is that the guy?
No.
Her husband is blind.
Oh God, I can't remember. I have to find it.
I know. Yeah, but
okay.
she.
No, but she was 80 something.
Yeah,
and she wasn't. But she wasn't hot. But she was funny.
Yeah.
Like at 80 something, she's not hot. Are you talking about Joan Rivers or whatever?
Yes.
Oh, Joan Rivers is hilarious. Yeah, but she wasn't like, I'm hot. She was funny.
No, but she always maintained, like, she stayed feminine. She never became grandma. I've heard in Hollywood, you're like the young hot girl, and then you're the mom, and then you're the grandma. These are the three roles a woman can have. There's no, it's like you're hot and young, you're a mom, or you're grandma. Driving Miss Daisy, that's it, you're old. She never became the grandma. She's like, I'm gonna get the plastic surgery.
Yeah, but she was never hot. Like, in her older, I mean, she looked good for her age.
She looked good, yes.
Yeah, but she was never like, oh, I'm dating 30-year-olds.
But she never accepted the role of grandma. Like, oh, I'm gonna be the grandma now who just dresses, you know.
Yeah.
Dolly Parton never became the grandma.
Sure.
She's like, I'm gonna see the
What do you think? Do you think I can still be sexy when I'm 70? Okay.
I think you should try.
I was asking the audience. What do you guys think?
There's going to be a 90-year-old going, oh, look at this hot young pretty lady.
Oh, Habib, if he's sugar daddy, I will say yes, no problem.
I will say yes.
No, exactly. No, I mean, I'm just saying, I think we talk so much about our looks as comedians, and we're like obsessed with our looks. But in the end, like, whatever your persona is, just get on with it. Like, lean into it lean into it and just do it. And like, the more honest, like, so cheesy, but like, the more honest you are, the better it is. And this was what was so wonderful about my one-woman show. I was really honest about everything, and I would say about I had 70 audience members, which was really great. Okay. I would say like 25 or so were my friends. So a lot of the others were not. You know what I mean? I would say like 40 to 45 people who are not my friends. That's great for someone they've never heard of. And I was so honest the entire time. Like, people didn't know. They're like, oh, I didn't know you live in Greece. I didn't know you live in Kuwait. I didn't know this happened. So it was really nice to just dig in and to be honest. And the more honest I was, I laughed on stage. And when I talked about the body and talked about my kids, I cried a little bit. So, but still, like, they were with me on the journey, and I just find the more honest and more authentic. Like, no one can be Amer, nobody can be me. I'm also like the oldest Arab woman stand-up comedian in the world. Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy.
That's crazy, right?
That's
in the world. The oldest stand-up Arab comedian in the world. That's crazy.
Yes, true. There's no other. First of all, there's not a lot of female Arab comedians.
There are a lot.
Arab
there are tons. You should come.
Tons, but there's.
I'm not gonna. Yeah, there are a lot. There's 10 to 1, like, Arab men.
10 Arab men for 1 Arab woman doing comedy.
Okay, so when I do the New York Arab American Comedy Festival with Maysoon and Dean, there are a lot of women. And there was one lineup where I think it was like there were 2 men and a lot of women. So they're coming up, but, you know.
There's more and more.
Yeah, there's more. Like Natalie and so on. There are a lot of women, Yeah,
there's Athir. I met her when I was in New York.
I worked with Athir. She's wonderful.
And there's Natalie. I think she came to Montreal. I think she's coming back to Montreal.
Yeah.
I
worked with but there are lots. There are a lot more.
That's
definitely.
Good.
I mean, I've had them on my shows. Zari Maidan and Salma Hindi and so many people. They're just amazing.
Again, I like this rebellious because it comes with a certain rebellion, especially for Middle Eastern comedians. To like, I'm gonna rebel against engineering and medicine and I'm gonna do whatever I want. I'm gonna go on stage. I'm gonna say bad words. I might be disowned by my family. I think Salma.
Yeah.
I think she got disowned by her family when she started doing stand-up. Took off the veil. There's a. I like this aspect of rebellion that comes.
Yeah, definitely.
Badassness.
Definitely, but I think over time, rebellion becomes very subjective. You know, like. You know, when we were kids, having a boyfriend was like, oh my God, someone has a boyfriend. Now it's like, you know, it's all subjective. Now it's like, oh, they have a boyfriend, they don't live with him, whatever. So I think everything becomes, you know, more and more subjective. And like times are changing as we speak, Hamid.
Because I like the punk rock aspect of especially Middle Eastern comedy.
Yeah.
Now Middle Eastern female comedy, because it has like, they have to say fuck you to society.
Yeah.
In order to get into a form where 10 years ago, they would have, in some countries, they would have gotten shot.
Yeah. You know what I love? I love that even in the past 5 years, like even like Muslim comedians, like like female Muslims are even becoming more bold. Like some of them swear and like, which is not, you know, good or bad to curse, but
I think it's great.
You know, but I'm saying, but they're
great.
changed. What I'm saying, Ahmed, they've changed even the past 5 years because in the end, but there are nuances. Like, it's like, we're not a monolith. That's the other thing. It's like every Arab comedian is like Rola. God, we hope not. Every Arab comedian is like Ahmed. Of course, you know what I mean? And I think that's the wonderful thing about Arab comedy. That's why I do Funny Arabs shows, because I can show that there's like a whole range of different kinds of Arabs.
Is there a big Arabic population in Washington?
Yeah, I mean, Washington's pretty small. They're more in Virginia. Yeah, it's big. I mean, not like Montreal, where the official language is Lebanese, but they're,
Because I know there's a big black population.
Yeah, it's Chocolate City. Yeah,
Which is why you love the lines. That's the whole...
We're making it we joke that we're making it Caramel City, but you know, Arab culture, whatever, is becoming a lot more mainstream. Fortunately, unfortunately, you know, you've got like, you know, obnoxious people doing the home assalamu alaikum, inshallah, like, you know, it's annoying, but I think it's great that Arabic is becoming more mainstream.
Yeah.
You know? Well, yeah, I mean, thanks, like Arabic music for sure, Arabic culture, you know, Arab comedians, for sure. I mean, when you have people like Levant, so on, you know, and Elyanna and whatever, you know.
I didn't know about Saint Levant.
Oh, you didn't?
And he came to Montreal a couple of days ago. I just saw clips. Like, what a handsome... I'm very straight, Rola, as you know. But holy moly, that man...
Is hot?
He's very cute.
Oh, my God. He's 24
He's
or
a
25.
Child. He's a hot child.
He was born this century.
He's a hot child.
He has, you know, he's had great success. He's very talented.
I saw his dad. His dad also is a hot man.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
my sister hung out with his dad because like his dad's our age.
Hung out or hung out?
Inshallah. I have no idea. I don't know. I'm making things up. I'm a comedian, really.
It's all fake, guys. It's nothing. Nothing is real. But you're right. The fact that he headlined a show in jazz festival in Montreal.
Yeah.
An international artist. I'm like, oh, you're right. The Arabs are taking over.
Yeah. Well, it's just becoming more mainstream. Isn't like, you know, Zayn, and you know, the Hadid sisters and all of that. You know, it's just Arabic's just becoming more mainstream. You have people like Emel Mathlouthi, a Tunisian singer who sings globally, and like her shows sell out, and it's like it's no more like this is an Arab. We are going. It's just international music. You know, when it comes to music, and when it comes to comedy, obviously the comedy we're doing is in English, and like thanks to the news and the war and all of this, you know, I think people know a lot more, you know, about the culture. And like I get people calling me, "Hey, Habibi, how are you?" You know, and they're not Arab, you know, but I take it because it's said with love.
Yeah. So what's next now? So you wrote your 1 hour. You're gonna hopefully tour with it. You spoke about the last 53 years of your life. You condensed it into 1 hour. What's the next hour? What are you working on now?
Well, actually, I just launched DC Comedy Lounge, which is, it's like my own comedy club.
Nice.
I don't have a venue yet because I don't have money. So if you like me and you want to support Arab comedy, women comedy, menopausal comedy, or just me, please support DC Comedy Lounge. You can follow me on Instagram. Sorry?
Saudi prince watching this.
Yeah, the problem with Arabs is like, they're like, will you do politics? I'm like, of course. You know, the problem is Arabs don't want to sponsor comedy because we're doing politics. So when I go to like embassies or this kind of thing, they're like, oh yeah, but don't talk politics. I'm like, I do comedy to talk about politics.
Yeah.
So it's a bit much for them. But like, so DC Comedy Lounge is I always say it's like a marvelous Mrs. Maisel or marvelous Mrs. Muslimish squeamish kind of thing where you dress up. Because, usually comedy clubs you go, it's underground. You're like, I'm going to wear a cap backwards. I haven't showered in 7 days. It's whatever. But I want it to be like high-end. I want people to dress up. So I have live music and comedy.
Oh, wow.
And it's now a monthly show in D.C. Thank you. I'm very excited. And, women love it because they get to dress up. I have people who are going there for like special occasions, like they're celebrating their anniversary, and now people are waiting for it. They'll be like, "Oh, where's the next one?" And as soon as I post it, people buy tickets. Like I'm getting repeat, customers. Let's call it a cult, Amer.
I think it's Rola's cult. Join DC Rola's cult. Hopefully to be international soon.
But I love it because also we do intelligent comedy. Like when you come in, you're going to be dressed up. The comedians will be dressed up. Which
really?
Yes, the comedians I book, they have to dress up. And some people go all out. They'll get a whole outfit from the 50s, like the whole retro vintage. I'm like, oh, this is vintage vibes. And this woman, she was amazing. She went and she got like, the hat and the this and the shoes and all of it, like only for you. I'm like, great. But the comedians love it too because they get to dress up and be like, I'm in this vintage thing and everything. And the music is very like 50s, like fly me to the moon.
So I see the vibe you're going for, like a speakeasy of the 50s.
50s. I mean, if you could smoke indoors, we would. It's very much like Mad Men, smoking indoors. Everyone's beautiful and dressed up and cheating on their wives. So yeah. But
So that goes back to my question. Are you gonna work on your next hour? Like now, because now you seem to have the DC Comedy Club that you're working on.
Yeah, DC Comedy Lounge.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Your next hour, are you going to stick to politics? Are you going to talk, like, what's the next thing?
Well, I think it's really interesting. I'm going to get deeper. I want to make, I realize that my experience is very, everyone thinks they're unique, right? But like my experience is very unique. My life has been very unique. Yeah. So I want to dig into each, like take a deep dive. And so I lived in Kuwait. What does that mean? I lived in Greece. What does that mean? I lived in Montreal. What does that mean? And just take a deep dive and sort of like peel the layers and the layers and the layers, because there's comedy in everything. And I think as you get to know yourself and people are on the journey with you, I call it being on the destination with me, because I think after 50 you just got to thank people for being on your destination. I think I'm just going to keep digging deeper. I don't see myself creating something completely new, just to keep getting deeper. And there's so many stories. I was hanging out with my friend who came in from Dubai to see me, and I said, I didn't even mention that I lived in Dubai. And she's like, why not? I said, I don't know, honestly, compared to everything else, there wasn't that much, but there's so many hilarious stories from there. So I think I'm just going to talk more about me and, have my mom worry about what the neighbors will think.
That would be, it should be like a... Usually they have like 18 plus on the, like, don't tell my mom.
Don't tell my mom.
Not mom approved.
Yeah.
I do believe that we all have like lives that are just ourselves. Like we're all different.
Yeah.
But I think if you go deep, the deeper you go, the more you find universal truths where even though you live something that nobody else lived, that feeling that you felt, somebody will relate to that feeling. And this is where the laughter will come. That they will relate to that feeling you felt, and then you will get the laughter. So yeah, definitely, the deeper, I believe the deeper you go, the better.
Yeah, and I really love
the more vulnerable you are on stage, the better.
Absolutely, and what I love is like if I laugh about my pain, you laugh at your pain, even though it's a completely different kind of pain, which is,
Don't you hate it when you get a
So.
Fucking hate. That's my least favorite.
I know comedians hate it when you
stage.
Don't do it. Go no. I'm not going to do an orgasm on stage. But yes.
You'll sell more tickets.
It would. I might in the next one, because that's also reality, right? But so is the worst thing you want to hear. And usually when we're Arab comedians talking about war and all of this, sometimes you get it. Yeah. So we say, so at my Traumedy shows when I'm hosting, I'm just like, listen, what we don't want to hear is okay, we don't want to hear that. We can groan, you can laugh, you can cheer, you can clap. We don't want to hear that. Okay. And sometimes if I'll make something, I'll do something, it'll be like very raw because it's like, this just happened. They'll be like, I'll be like, listen, don't feel guilty laughing at my pain unless you work in foreign policy. And it's DC, so everyone works in foreign policy. I'm like, it's not your fault unless you work in foreign policy. Okay,
so I want to go back to the sounds that I also don't like, or like, it's not a laugh, just
what does that mean?
Just like they don't want to laugh. They just
they're tired?
No. I don't know. Just there's some sounds.
Do that again.
Like instead of laughing, just go.
That's so annoying.
I get angry. I have to control my anger when I'm on stage.
Do you slap them? Are you allowed to slap?
I would love to take out my belt and go. They teach it. There's some sounds like, let's say I'm hosting a show. Like if I hear someone go, or I'm like, no. Because for me, it's like a virus.
It sounds like Arab uncle sound.
Yeah.
Shahida.
Yeah. It's just usually it's older men. Women don't usually. They'll go like. Their eyes, their silence will speak louder if they don't like a joke. But no aw.
No ahs.
No aw. Oh, also.
Oh, but that's is a good thing.
No, like, oh. Like,
like
you do
poor
it,
thing.
like, oh.
No, like she ghosted me.
Like, I can't believe you said that. Oh. Because you're showcasing that you're better than people because you didn't laugh. You saw that this was wrong. So you're like, oh no, this is... we didn't talk about it. Maybe we should about like what are people
allowed to
talk about on stage. You said
Nothing.
we're gonna disagree on that. We'll see. I think they should talk about whatever they want. You clearly don't think men should be talking, so that's fine. Men should be like women 30 years ago, not talking.
Some of my favorite comedians are men, actually. So,
Yeah?
I mean, I love a lot of women comedians, but I have a lot of respect for a lot of male comedians, too. Of course.
So how do you feel about the censorship in comedy?
So, okay, censorship in comedy. I think it's very interesting because I live somewhere super, super liberal.
Yeah.
And you have to be very inclusive of everybody all the time, which is actually wonderful because
Yeah.
to me, bringing comedy to spaces is to make people feel better. If you come to my comedy show, you don't feel better after, then that's bad. So to me, comedy is about uplifting people, making them feel better, having levity. For sure. I think sometimes we take everything too far and everything too seriously because anything you say is going to be offensive to someone.
100%, yeah.
There is such a thing as punching down, punching up. That stuff does exist. I do believe in that. When I do my dark comedy show, I say, like, if you have a problem, you can talk about it. Like, if you're not blind, you can't make fun of blind people. But I watched an amazing blind comedian in D.C., and he was hysterical. He was the best in the lineup, and he was so great. But, like, nobody else can do those jokes,
Yeah? You think that you have to be that type to do that joke?
I'm the kind of person who thinks that, and I know that's not the case in Montreal because I've heard people in Montreal be like, you'll be a guy doing, like, an Indian joke. I'm like, well, you're not Indian. It's just that I mean, it's not like no one's allowed to do it. It's like, I don't like Mexican food, so I don't go to Mexican restaurants. It doesn't mean no one's allowed to like Mexican food. Okay. So for my show specifically, I don't want people to come off as racist in any way. Like, be racist in your own private home.
And do you think racist jokes translate to that person being racist in your mind?
It doesn't
the
matter.
joke is racist.
Oh yeah,
I'll give you, like, for sure. If someone the joke is racist, but in my mind I don't think that would make the person racist.
No, I don't think it's like it's not about the person. In the end, we're putting on a show. This is entertainment. It's not a value judgment. I go up to the comedian. Oh, you're right. It's not that at all. It's just that I think it's really easy and kind of 80s to do a racist joke because I'm just like, we can do so much better. I think it's much funnier if you make fun of yourself or your dad or whatever than like an Indian dad if you're not Indian. Do you know what I mean? Like, I say Indian just as an example of like another culture. Like for me personally, it doesn't mean no one's allowed to do that, and doesn't mean I think that you're a racist person or whatever. So I was at a show and I was grateful to be on that show. It was everybody was really lovely to me. A really nice comedy club. But one comedian made made some like homophobic jokes, and then there was a trans comedian on the show as well. And it was interesting to me because a lot of the jokes that the trans comedian, her jokes would have killed in places like in DC. There's some show where she would have gotten cheers. Some people laughed at some stuff, whatever, but I know that material is really intelligent, but it's for a much more liberal crowd. Okay? And then the other comedian who sort of made homophobic jokes and all of this, and I like, he's a nice guy personally, but he was like, why can't we say autistic anymore? He was like making fun of, he was saying the R word, which I can't even say. He was doing all of that, and people laugh. He's like, why can't we do this? Why can't we do that? And that's his humor, and he had the crowd for him. I'm just saying, like, that kind of stuff just wouldn't work on my shows. You can't like perform on my shows and make fun of, it's just, people are gonna laugh. But for me, like,
the space you're trying to create, you don't want.
I don't want that. It's really, honestly,
I
see it as my responsibility that you come and you feel better. I was on a show once and it was so embarrassing. I went to this audience and somebody stood up and made fun of her ex-boyfriend who's blind, and lo and behold, there was a blind person in the audience, and his mom was so offended, and then the host had to apologize.
That's funny. Hearing that story is making me laugh.
It's crazy, right? I was there, and she makes it's like picture this: you don't get blind patrons all the time, right?
No, yeah.
And she makes this joke against the blind ex-boyfriend, trashing him, and making fun of him being blind. And it did not go down well. And the host, and I felt for the host. I was like, oh my God, this poor host now has to bring back the room, apologize to the brand. It was really horrible and embarrassing because the producer's trying to uplift everyone by putting all these women on the show.
Yeah.
So,
what were the jokes about the blind ex-boyfriend? Were they funny?
I mean, I find, it's so subjective.
Did they get a laugh?
I mean, not really.
Oh.
Maybe they. I mean, I don't remember
Okay.
that.
Okay.
I mean, not really, because it was more about. I don't know. I don't think they did as well as like some other material would have done or did that night, because that's the kind of crowd. It was all like supportive and women and all of this. So honestly, like I'm not going to be like no one's ever allowed to make that kind. But I don't want to hear it, and I don't want it on my shows because that really alienates my community.
I always find, because I also produce shows and I have certain rules that I also put on my shows, and I find that's when art and producing sometimes they clash. Because as an artist, I'm like, no, I want people to say whatever they want. It's art. I believe in free speech. You can go on stage and say whatever you want. If your intent is to get laughter, that's the job. But also, I'm a producer that I work with venues, and the venues are like, hey, we don't want such material, such material.
Yeah.
Also, I host my show, and as you said, the host has to reset the room if someone says jokes that are a bit déplacé. So I find it's sometimes they don't. Yeah, being a producer and being an artist, sometimes they clash in my mind. Yeah,
it doesn't clash for me at all.
Okay.
Because I mean, first of all, we don't have freedom of speech in America anymore.
You think? No.
No, I'm kind of joking. No, I'm joking.
You're the last bastion of freedom of speech.
I mean, that's kind of the joke, but there are many things you can't say anymore, right? But to backtrack that, I don't have I have no qualms about it.
Yeah.
Like in the end, if you're the producer and you say to me, listen, Rola, this is a clean show, I will do what you want or not be on the show. Of course. Like the other option is to just not be on the show and just show up as a friend and to watch and whatever.
Yeah.
So I actually have no qualms about it because what I'm trying to do as a producer is build something very specific and it's not for everyone, which is great. Because I want people who are going to uplift. I want to put on, comedians who are, I don't want to say like the voiceless, like nothing like that, but I want to put comedians who feel like they can't really express themselves in other places, and I don't want them to be like shunned by,
Do you feel that in America there's censorship on the other side?
Tell me what you mean.
In the sense that, like for example, you don't want homophobic jokes. You don't want racist jokes. Is there a space where they're like, you know what, we don't want that liberal bullshit on our show? Do you find that there's also censorship in America towards the other side? We're like, no, we don't want your liberal bullshit. Don't bring that shit here.
I mean, there must be.
We say the R word here and we're proud.
I mean, there must be. I don't know. I never got booked, I don't know because I'm not on those shows, and D.C. is very liberal anyway.
Yeah.
D.C. is super liberal. So
even
I
with
can't
Trump as
imagine
president,
that.
and
I think they're more angry. Like D.C. is super liberal. There are shows where I've been told, I don't think we want to do politics today, kind of thing. So I end up. That's why I do the dating jokes, but with the backdrop of politics, or I just do crowd work. But in the end, as a producer, this is your show.
Yeah.
If you say to me, you show up dressed like Shrek, I can take it or leave it. I'm not torn. Like it's just like,
Again, that's the beauty of creating your own space. Is that you're like, this is the vibe I want to give my my room, my cult. If you come to join my cult, you'll feel only positive feelings. You will not be alienated. It's your space. It's your cult. I fully understand what you mean.
I always say, match my vibe, join my tribe.
Amen.
It's so cheesy. I love cheese.
I've been accused of being cheesy as well. I think it's a dying art. I think if people were a bit cheesier, life would be better. I really think so. Especially in relationships. I think if you're in a relationship, girls love cheesy. They don't like saying they love cheesy, but they do love cheesy. I think if people were 20% cheesier, I think the world would be way better.
More cheese.
So more cheese, guys. If there's
More.
anything we learn from this podcast is more cheese. Maybe that should be the name. More cheese
More
with
cheese.
Rola Z.
There. More.
Rola, thank you
Oh,
so
thank
much.
you so much. I had so much fun.
This was very interesting and very fun. Thank you for being on the podcast. I'll put all your social media, where to find you guys. If this is your first time watching, subscribe. Follow Rola if you're a fan of this podcast. If you're in Washington, D.C., go see her hour. Try to tell her to come do it in Montreal or in Edinburgh. Let's do it 30 days.
Edinburgh.
Edinburgh.
Oh my God. Inshallah.
I think John, our friend John, is
Yeah.
going to Edinburgh. He's doing his 1 hour in English.
Yeah.
I saw parts of it when he was here, and I think he's going to be ready.
Oh, I'm sure it's going to be
fun.
amazing.
Yeah.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. I love you very much. Subscribe. I love you, Gabe. I love you, Gene. Bye, everybody. Bye.